Hey fam, what's good? What's good? I hope that you're well and keeping safe. I hope that you had a nice productive week. I hope that you had a nice productive weekend as well. So for today, we will be doing a top-down analysis on Nasdaq, and basically giving an outlook on what can happen over the course of this actual week. So without wasting no time, let's get into it. So, as you can see, we are currently on our actual monthly time frame. As you can see, our bulls been pushing price towards the upside over here, but our base came into control and basically took price back towards the downside. Now, looking at our monthly structure, we can see that, we do have this low, higher low over there. We do have this high, higher high, and we do have this actual higher high over there. Now, knowing that if a market creates a higher high, we are expecting some sort of an actual pullback. Okay. Now, this is our monthly time frame. This can take forever to happen, The correction can take forever to happen. So, main thing to take away from our monthly time frame, we are still bullish in structure. Okay, so scaling down to our actual weekly time frame, hey, this is the time frame we've been banging our head on for this, for the most part. The reasoning to why we had this dip towards the downside is mainly because can you see that we have this actual trend line thrown out like this, like that, and we copy and clone it, and we basically just placed it on the highs like that. Now can you see we basically just tapped into the trend line and then smack price back towards the downside. Hey, this was amazing. This is let me see, this is like a 700 up, 700 odd pop move to, yeah, 720 odd pop move towards the downside. A lot of pups on Nasdaq. That is a lot of pups on Nasdaq. Now, focusing on our actual weekly time frame, we can see that with the formation of these candles, we do have a nice bearish engulfing over here, indicating to us that we can have a potential move back towards the downside. Now, a safe haven for us, if we want to move towards the downside, where will our targets basically be? It will basically be back in 15,700. Now, why 15,700? Mainly because 15,700 was an area which we broke out of and we never came back for a retest, and knowing that the market moves in impulses and corrections, so this would basically be our impulsive move towards the upside. This would basically be our correction. We broke out of this previous area of resistance, now turned into support. We found our actual impulse, so now we basically with a potential, we're busy with a potential correction. So a safe haven would basically be 15,700. But in overall, it would be nice if we can see ourselves, hit back into this actual, trend line over here. But as I say, let's not be predictive. Let's be reactive. So after we cross this barrier over here, 15,700, hey, we can see what can happen, after that. Now, that's it for our actual weekly time frame. I hope you have a clean understanding over there. So let's scale down to our actual daily time frame. Now, as you can see on our daily time frame, we can see that we had this nice week thrown towards the upside, and then we basically just rallied back towards the downside. Now, looking at structure, let's look at structure on our daily time frame. Can you see we do have this low over here? We have a higher low over there. We do have this higher low over there. To a market giving us a what with this candle thrown towards the downside over there? A lower low. Now let's look at the highs before we go and make any comments on that. We do have this high, higher high, higher high, lower high over there. Clean indication that we do have a what type of structure? We are bearish in structure. Now, if our daily time frame is bearish in structure, what does this mean? What can potentially happen on our weekly time frame? Our weekly time frame can potentially have a move back towards the downside, and that is basically what we want. Where will we basically take price? Back into 15,700. Okay. Now, getting more into depth on what is basically happening on our actual weekly time frame and why I'm basically saying that this is bearish. If I can box out this region like this, can you see that this was the actual impulse towards the downside? This was now the correction, and we can potentially have another impulsive move back towards the downside. Can you see with these two consecutive bull candles over here, I'll consider that as a proper correction. Okay, a proper correction. If it was like this one candle, hey, that's not an issue. That's not a correction. Two consecutive candles, proper correction. Two or more. Okay, so we do have a nice actual respect over there. Even if I'm gonna have my Fibonacci out from my high, to my actual low, we can see that we had a nice respect on our 50 percentage. Our 50% retracement. And can you see that our minus 61.8 is lining up with 15700, giving us an extra confluence that we can see price potentially hit back into 15700. Okay, so that is it for our actual daily time frame. So let's scale down to our 4-hourly time frame. So let's scale down to our actual 4-hourly time frame. Now, can you see on our 4-hourly time frame, hey, we do have more candles now, so here's a little more movement happening on our actual 4-hourly time frame. Now, on Friday I took a little lesson, and I just want to show you like why I took a lesson. I had a trend line drawn out like this. I had a trend line drawn out like this. First, second, third. We broke out of it. We haven't came back for proper retest, right? So I was expecting a proper retest back towards the upside. If I can just, just do this. I wanted to move back towards the upside. And, I was basically looking at this as, my high, lower high, higher high over there. We do have equal lows over there. Hey, double bottom formation, we can potentially see price hit back into this trend line for potential dip towards the downside. So as you can see, we did have this actual low over there. We had this high, lower high over there. So what did I do? I got myself a nice trend line drawn out, had myself a nice trend line drawn out like that. And, bought based off this actual respect over there. Bought, and basically had my stop loss just below this actual area of support over there, just below our area of support, to take price back into this actual region over there. But boom, 15, 1630 basically threw us back towards the upside, and I was like, hey, we heading towards the upside now. But after that, bang, my stop loss was, it was murdered. It was smacked. But, we're not crying about that. It's all part of the game. It's all part of the game. And, I came back and I was like, why did we basically had this actual, this dip towards the downside? And I basically came back to my previous content, and I basically had this actual trend line thrown out, from this region over here. And I saw that we had to break retest, and we just rallied towards the downside. And I was like, damn, Diego. But okay, cool. What's done is done. Okay. It was still an amazing week. So, looking forward, moving forward, we can see that, we were in some sort of initial range over here. We were in some sort of initial range over here. If I can just make it a little more neater, just like that, just like that, with respecting these highs over there and respecting these lows over here, we broke out of an actual range. Now, knowing that if we gonna break out of a range, in this case, we broke out of an area of support, now turned into resistance. What are we basically waiting for? Or what is the next step which we're gonna take? If I can show you another example, if we're gonna have an actual ranging market, if I'm gonna just draw it like this, if we're gonna have a ranging market, if we're gonna break towards the downside, what do we wait for? The correction to take price way back towards the downside. If we have a break, towards the actual upside, what do we wait for? Correction to take price way back towards the upside. So in this actual example over here, what will we basically be waiting for? We will be waiting for an actual correction for potential move back towards the downside, and we can potentially, visit our friend 15700. Okay, so even if I'm gonna scale down to my actual lower time frames, it will basically paint the same picture. Now, on our 2-hourly time frame, can you see that we had this nice correction, and then we had the the impulse back towards the downside. So, you know, if we can have an actual correction, if you're going to see prices reversing itself, you know, if you're going to see prices reversing itself, you know, coming for the correction, get out that Fibonacci from your high to your low, wait for the proper respect, and you know you can basically take price back into your minus you know 61.8 region if you want to play safe from our 2 hourly time frame. But you know, knowing that from our daily time frame we do have, you know, a respect on our minus 61.8, that is lining up with our, you know, 15,700. So you know we can potentially hit back there, you know, but this would basically be a swing trade if you want to take this trade back to you know 15,700. So I hope that you have like a clean understanding of what I just went through now. You know, it's nothing complicated. I don't want to complicate it. You know, let's keep trading simple and easy, you know. And you know, I want to leave you with progress is a process. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. Progress is a process. Okay, so you know, traders, for this week, I hope that you're gonna have a nice, learningful, profitable week. Let's do what we love doing. You know, what we love best doing. I don't know how to say it, but let's do what we love doing. You know, let's learn this actual craft which can feed us for the rest of our lives. We do not have to wake up each and every morning, go to job, or go to our work, whatsoever, in your 9 to 5. None of that. So let's work on this craft. Let's work on this craft. Grow with me. Let's grow together. Okay? Keep on going. Keep on pushing. Keep your head up. Keep your chin up. You know, let's grind. Let's hustle. It's me, your boy D. We learn. We grow. We earn. I'm out.